Hello, happy and smart developers. Welcome to the coding board. This is series of UI technologies and we are learning HTML form validation. This is part 1. So let's begin the session. First, we need to understand what is validation. Validation is a process of validating entered value is valid or not. Let me explain. Whenever we click on sign up button, one page will appear. That page will have one form and that form will have many input control elements like name, surname, last name, then we have mobile number, correct, and in front of those labels we will have fields to enter our data, correct. But there is proper format of mobile number, there is proper format of surname, there is proper format of name, correct. So we should enter value in that particular format only. Suppose if I write my mobile number like 988, will it accept? Definitely it will not accept. Or suppose I enter my mobile number like this is dummy number, okay, 99999. Will it accept? No, because digits are 5, but we know very well universally there are 10 digit mobile numbers, okay, so it will not accept. Similarly, if I write name 123, will it accept? No, definitely no, because we know name should be in character. So the message which I want to express is there is proper format of value to be entered in particular input field. That validation need to be performed to check whether input value, entered value is valid or invalid. That process of verification is nothing but validation, okay. Now let's move on. Some input elements like email, URL, tel, date, etc. are automatically validated by browser and does not require developers validation constraints. So there are few input control elements in HTML5 which does not need developers validation constraints. They will be automatically validated by browser, okay. Let's understand this with one example. Suppose so this is basic format of HTML document. Here we have doc type HTML, then we have HTML, then head section, then we have body section, then closing HTML. In body section we have form element, okay, to create form. In form we have field set to group input control elements into one section. Then we have legend tag. In legend tag, what I am doing, I am taking one attribute, I am taking one input control element, input type is equals to text, okay, and id is equals to name, and place holder is equals to, here I will make some changes, input type is equals to email, okay, and here I will type placeholder, and here I will write please enter your email address. Now we have br tag, then we have br tag, then we have input type is equals to submit, and then we have value is equals to submit. Okay, and let's save the code with name validating input control element dot html. Okay, validating input control element dot html. Save the code and execute in our Chrome browser. So here is our output. See, let me increase the size of the page. What it is telling, please enter your email id. Suppose I write like this: Mohsin Bangi 20 45 83 98 something, some xyz. Okay, 20 45 28 98, and some dummy I have written my email id. Okay, and I am clicking on submit button here. Will it accept or not, that we need to understand. Submit. See what is happening. Please include an at the rate. See here, please include an at the rate in the email address. Okay, so what is missing? See, missing an at the rate. Understood? So here we have not given any validation constraint, but browser is automatically validating. Why it is happening? Because we are using email input control element. So in HTML5, few input control elements does not need validation constraints from developers. Okay, now let's move on. To implement validation constraints on the input control element, HTML5 provides special attributes. What are those? The validation only occurs when attempting to submit the HTML form. Okay, so all restricted inputs must be inside a form in order for validation to occur, unless you are using JavaScript. So let me explain these two important points. What are these two important points? To implement validation constraint on the input control element, HTML5 provides some special attribute. So we have few special attribute. Using those special attributes, we can apply constraints, validation constraints on input control element. What are those input control element validation attributes? That we will learn in our next example. And our next point is, the validation only occurs when attempting to submit button. As soon as I click on submit button, see here, as soon as I click on this submit button, then only validation will occur. Okay, so to implement validation on form element, we need to mention all those elements within HTML form. Okay, else validation will not occur. See, there are three different ways to provide validation. What are those three different ways? Let me tell. See, first one is, already HTML5 has few special elements which does not need validation constraint, like email. Okay, second one is, HTML5 provides special attributes for validation purpose. And third point is, with the help of JavaScript we can implement validation constraint. Okay, so if we want to use these two types, if we want to use these two types, then it is very important to write all the input control elements within opening form and ending form tag. The reason is, when we click on submit button, on click of submit button, on click of submit button, validation process starts. And here, in when we use JavaScript, what will be the process, that I will explain when we will learn JavaScript. Okay, now let's move on. HTML form validation part 2. Let's understand required attribute first. What is the meaning of required attribute? Okay, here what I am doing, I am removing email and entering text and telling that please enter your name. Okay, let's save the code and execute in browser. So what I'm doing, I'm not entering my name. I'm not entering my name. Observe. Where you need to observe? You need to observe here. Here, and you need to observe here. Okay. See, I'm clicking on submit button. 1, 2, 3, click. Form is submitted. Observed. See, action is happened. Action is happened. Form is submitted. So, what does it mean? Without entering value also I can submit my form. But this is not the right way. To restrict this, what I need to do, I will have to make use of required attribute. Okay, so here save the code and refresh. Now what I will do, I will not enter my name. Okay, and directly I will click on submit button. Let's observe carefully. So what is happening? Please fill in this field. So because of use of required attribute, it is not allowing me to submit the form. See, let me show you fresh HTML page so that it will be helpful for you. Okay, so here I am not entering anything and clicking on submit button. So it is not accepting my form submission. After clicking on submit button, it is giving me pop-up box alert message saying fill in this field. So without having value you cannot submit this form. Correct. So what is required? Required is a boolean attribute. What is required? Required is a boolean attribute. With the help of required attribute of HTML5 we can specify that the input control element cannot be empty. Now let's understand minimum and maximum length. Use the min length and max length attribute to indicate length requirement of input value. Length requirement of input value. Suppose I am having few more input control elements like first first name, then we have email, okay, and then we have password, then we have enter your password. All are required, okay, all are required because I have make use of required attribute, okay. So I'm clicking on submit button and refreshing the web page. So how many fields we have? We have total 3 fields excluding submit button. Please enter your name, email ID, and please enter your password. Generally what happens, email ID can be of more characters. For that purpose what I can do, I can make use of min and max length attribute. Max see here, I can specify min length and max length of input value. Suppose I'm mentioning length min length is equals to 3, okay. Let me take on next line, and then we have max length is equals to 9. So what will happen here, save the code. Just for understanding purpose I will do some mistakes here, okay. I will write my name Mohsin, and I will write email ID MO, I will write password some ABCXYZ, and I will click on submit button. See what is happening. Please include an attribute in the email address. Okay, fine. Now I have included @ and reduce the size of characters. So there are total 2 characters, and now click on submit button. Please enter a part following @ is incomplete. Okay, fine, no issues. What I will do, I will write minimum length is 9. So let's take sample dot @ example.com. See here, when I am typing example.com, it is not allowing me to enter. Why? The reason is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. How many characters we have? We have total 9 characters, correct, total 9 characters. So in max length what I have mentioned total max length should be 9 characters. So more than 9 characters it is not allowing. Now what I will do, I will change it to 15. See 15 and save the code. Let's refresh, enter name Mohsin, enter email ID sample@gmail.com, but it is not taking M. Why? Because maximum length is done. How? See here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 and 15. So what I will have to do, I will have to make it 16. Save the code, refresh, correct. So it is taking total 15 characters. But suppose I am mentioning minimum length is 20 and maximum length is 26. Okay, now minimum length is 20, but here total length is only 16 and some password here, and I am clicking on submit button. Sorry, we have not refreshed the page, because of that some mistake happened. Let me refresh. Here Hossein sample@gmail.com. What is length? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 and 16, but minimum length should be at least 20. Correct. Some password and clicking on submit button. So it is not allowing me to submit. See here, submit. Please lengthen this text to 20 characters or more. You are currently using 16 characters. Understood? So in this way we can decide length of input value with the help of min length and max length attribute. Okay, now let's move on. The min length max length attribute works with the following input type: text, search, tell, URL, email and password. Now size, let's understand size attribute. Size attribute is used to specify width of the input control element. Width of the input control element. Suppose I want to increase the size of this password input control element. See here. Then what I can do, see, in password I can write size equal to 25. Save the code and here I am going to refresh. Observe carefully. What happened? Size of input control element of type password got increased. Now what I will do, I will make it direct double. Check it. Now it is 25, correct? Now I will make it 50. Save the code and refresh. See, now size of input control element of type password is of length 50. So with the help of size attribute we can increase or decrease size, or we can say length of input control element. Okay, now let's move on. The size attribute works with the following input types: text, search, tell, URL, email and password. Now min and max. What is min and max? That we will understand. Min max attributes are used to specify valid range of numbers. Min and max attributes works with number type input element. Okay, so let's understand this with one example. I am removing all the elements except in input type is submit. Okay, now what I am doing here, input type is equals to number. Okay, id is equals to num. Then we have min is equals to 10, max is equals to 12. Let's take min 5 and max is 12. So what will happen, just save the code and let me refresh the page. Here the input control element is of what type? Is of, see, number type, is of number type. Okay, okay, So here when I move my cursor on this input control element, it is giving me two arrows, up arrow and down arrow. When I click on up arrow, it is starting from 5. So minimum length is, minimum range is 5, and then when I click on down arrow, it is increasing. It is, sorry, when I am clicking on up arrow, it is increasing the size, or we can say range, but it is not crossing 12. See, correct. So maximum range is 12 and minimum range is how much? See, 5. Correct. So with the help of min and max, we can control range of numbers, and min and max attribute works with number type element only. Now what we have to do, we have to make use of one more attribute, step is equals to 2. Just observe carefully what will happen. Save the code and refresh the browser, and let me see. This is minimum range is 5. I am clicking on up arrow, direct it is taking 7, it is not taking 6. Now again I am clicking on up arrow, it is directly taking 9, not 8. Again up arrow, it is taking 11, not 10. Correct. So with the help of step, we can specify steps of increment and decrement. Suppose if I mention it 3, then what will happen? Save the code, refresh. Here is our minimum range 5, then up arrow, direct 8, not even 7. 6 and 7 both are excluded, directly third step 8. Again 8, 9, 10 and 11, directly jumping on 11th step. So remaining two steps are excluded. Again click on up arrow, it is not taking, the reason is maximum range is 12. Correct. In this way we can control range of number type element. Now let's move on. HTML form validation part 3. So this is very important part, pattern. For more control, use the pattern attribute to specify any regular expression that must be matched in order to pass validation. In form, or we can say in sign up details page, we have many fields like name, mobile number, email ID, password, correct? But we cannot write as per our requirement. We have to follow particular pattern. Pattern is nothing but, what is pattern? Pattern is nothing but a particular format. Okay, what is pattern? Pattern is nothing but a particular format. In number, mobile number field, I cannot write my name, correct? And in name field, I cannot write my email ID. If I do so, it will give me error, validation error, correct? So pattern is used to specify particular format of input value. Now let's understand this with one example. Suppose what I am doing, I am input type is equals to text, and I am removing these attributes. Placeholder is equals to enter your name. Save the code and refresh. Observe carefully. Let me take new page, fresh page. Okay, here. So we have fresh page. This what I am doing, instead of typing my name, I am typing 123. Is it my valid name? Obviously not. Let's click on submit button. But still our form is submitting. Correct. So to overcome this challenge, we have one special attribute provided by HTML5, that is pattern. What pattern is telling? Pattern is equals to, suppose I write like this, %d, %d, /d. What is the meaning of this? Let's understand. Save the code and refresh. Sorry, not d. Here we need to take, here suppose we take small a to z, capital A to z, star plus /space star plus A to z and capital A to z star. Let's remove this plus sign and save the code. Okay, so now let me open in new browser tab. So here what I am doing is I am writing 123 submit. See, it is not accepting my input value. Please match the format requested. Understood? And now suppose if I remove this matching pattern or regex with /d and save the code. Here let me refresh and let me type 123 and click on submit button. Observe carefully what happens. Please match the format requested, /d star. Save the code and refresh. 123 submit. So it is submitting now. Okay, so what is this star, what is this d, what is this /? This is part of regex. Okay, regex we will understand in when I will teach Python, Django. Okay, there you will understand all those things. So this is one pattern. This is one pattern. With the help of this pattern we can specify our required format of value. Okay, and now as our input type is text of name, here I will have to make use of this small a to z, capital A to z, star, then we have /, then we have star, then we have small a to z, then we have capital A to z, then we have star. Okay, and let's save the code. Once we save the code, let's refresh it and let me open this page in new tab for better understanding purpose. Okay, and here I am typing 123. It will not accept. Please match the format request. Now what I am doing, I will type Mohsin Bangi, submit. It is accepting now. Correct. So in this way we can write our matching pattern using pattern attribute. Now what I am doing, I am taking one more input control element here br and here pattern. Input type is tell, enter your number, and I'm taking back what I'm taking here backward slash d and star. Save the code and refresh. See, id should be different, number, and that is the reason. Save the code, refresh, enter your name Mohsin Bangi. Okay, and here we have enter your number, but I am not typing number, I am typing Mohsin, and click on submit button. What it is telling, please match the format, please match the format. So here I will have to write some XYZ telephone number 88888888. Okay, and then I am clicking on submit button. See, it is accepting now. There is no error, there is no error message. Let me show in new tab. Mohsin Bangi and save the code. Form is submitted. Correct. So in this way we can make use of regular expression to specify format of input value. Now let's move forward. We can also specify a title which is included in the validation message if the field doesn't pass. If validation does not done properly and our input value is wrong, or we can say not as per given pattern, then we can add our title in error message. Entered wrong details. See here, title here and here. Title, I'm taking XYZ. Let's take XYZ just for understanding purpose. Save the code. Let me open it in new tab. Let's remove it and save. What I'm doing 1 2 3, and what I'm doing Mohsin, submit. First it will check first input box. Okay, please match the format requested. Then we have our message. See, entered wrong details. Correct. So I will correct it. I will write correct details here and submit. First input box is validated, that is correct. Now second input box is validating, which is having incorrect value. So it is giving me error message with our title XYZ. Correct. So what I will do, submit. Form is submitted. So this is the magic of pattern. Pattern I will explain in detail when we will learn Python and Django. Okay, this is all about today's session. Let's meet in another session. Thank you.